I'm not on my way back to New York. And I'm still not on my way to France. I'm gonna move this. Oh God. Oh dear Lord. Nope. Okay. I have updates. They're not good updates, but I'm gonna give you the updates regardless of them being good or bad. Shit me, the camera battery is blinking at me. That can't be good. Do I start talking or do I go charge the camera? I suppose I'm gonna go charge the camera first and then I'll talk to you. I'm back. I failed to chase the daylight. You know, even I think today was daylight savings. I wouldn't know because I have a lot of other things happening in my life right now that I can't really keep up with those nonchalant, normal human things. But I still want to talk to you guys because I have updates for you. They're not good updates, but I still want to give them to you. Yes, did a costume change because it's several hours later. I called some people, I made dinner. I'm wearing my tooth t-shirt because it brings me joy, and I have glasses on because I don't know anything anymore. I need to find my brain because this is very multifaceted. There are a lot of variables that are up in the air that hopefully by tomorrow. So today is Sunday, March 14th. The Wi-Fi at the beach house is very slowly, which is why the videos are going up usually a day after I want them to be, because it just takes a very long time for things to upload. But today is Sunday, March 14th. As you guys know, I was supposed to leave the beach house the 5th. That didn't happen because the assistant still hadn't gone down to the office. If you're not caught up, you need to go watch the last video, or you need to go watch my getting kicked out of my apartment in New York City. Basically, hi, if you're new here, my name's Stephanie. I'm 22. I've been trying to get to France forever, and I was living in New York City for a little while. Still thinking about going back there while I wait for this, but yeah, we don't have time to rehash all that. Click one of these videos. I think it's here because it comes up on the right hand of the screen on YouTube, so it's on the left side here. Anyways, assistant did not go downstairs yet. This is like, you know, red wine talks with Damon, but I drink water. So moving to France and I don't even like wine. I like baguettes. Anyways, the assistant did not go down yet. She went to the prefecture de police, which is the general office. So think of like when you go to the doctor's office, right? And it's a giant building, and one floor is gastrology, one is dentistry, one is blood work, blah, blah, blah. She went to the general one, and it's basically, you know, the thing where all the foreign people, I think, please don't correct me if I'm wrong because I'm very tired right now and I don't have the energy to be corrected right now. From my understanding, it's the place where foreigners go, you know, there's an office for the students or the office for the spouses. She went to that one and they gave her some more of this specific prefecture / offices to visit for me being an employee from abroad trying to get there. In the meantime, while I hear this from her, I go bother the embassy in DC again. The embassy in DC is now going back on what they told me in October, that they would make an exception for me because I'm going to teach English. They're going back on their word now, and they're now saying, oh no, even if we get your paperwork, you can't come till the borders open. And I'm like, I have in writing that that's not what you said before. Why I can't? Do you understand that I don't qualify for unemployment or stimulus checks? And is basically my thought process with that one. The online work that I mentioned to you guys earlier, I did some training for it, but unfortunately, this literally, when I say to my friends that this keeps getting worse and worse, I'm not exaggerating, it actually keeps getting worse and worse. That online work, because I'm not there, I'm technically not an employee yet, I can't sign the contract till I'm in person until I can get the visa and get on the plane. Because there are other circumstances in the world that have prevented that from happening. I am not an employee yet. I technically just have the promise of letter hire that I will be hired when I get said visa and paperwork. Because I'm not hired, they can't pay me through their system. Meaning I have to send them an invoice as an independent company from here in the US. I am very young and very unqualified, and even given COVID, even without COVID, it is a very lengthy process. I looked it up. To register yourself as an LLC in the States. I could do it through PayPal, but then PayPal would take like 60% of the money I make, and deeming it officially ineffective and useless for me to go back to New York and wait there for all of this to just be behind us in the rearview mirror. Please be by the end of this year, because I don't know what I'm gonna do if this is gonna go on for another year. I'm thinking more like 6 months. People tell me I'm being delusional when I say that. One person told me 1.5 years, and I'm like, a year and a half from now, everyone should be vaccinated in these, you know, wealthy countries a year and a half from now, even France with their bureaucratic matters. So I'm just like, I'm not there yet. I'm thinking more. So here's, you know, the assistant told me, I know, this is how I tell stories. You're just gonna get used to it if you're a subscriber. And I talk very fast and sometimes I stutter, but don't worry, I have that new effect where it'll beat me out and it'll make it more fun for you to watch. But the assistant has told me very bluntly, if the invoice you send me doesn't work, it's not legal on our end, and we can't proceed with the online teaching. So that little online teaching and the one job in New York I told you guys about, that may no longer be of availability to me. So I'm waiting for her on that. Hopefully she replies to me tomorrow, Monday morning, and I'm waiting to hear what happens on Wednesday. The prefecture is apparently the only place left that can override the stupid freaking paperwork that I need from the French side that they're not giving to me no matter how many times we apply for it, or override the embassy here. Could something happen? Maybe. Given the way that my life has gone the past year, am I expecting it? No, I think there are better chances of a meteor hitting me right now than getting her walking away with some sort of visa or paperwork or laissez-passer for me to enter the country. I hope that I didn't just speak a meteor hitting me into the universe, but honestly, I'm so tired that wouldn't be the worst thing that's happened to me so far. Spilling water everywhere, hope that doesn't attract bugs. Also, in that bracket, so I'm like, okay, the embassy's telling me now I can't go do the visa after a couple months of thinking I could go do the visa if I had the paperwork. Still don't even have the paperwork for when the border opens to go do said visa. I also got my local congressman involved. I don't know if I'm allowed to be putting this on YouTube, but you know, probably he's not gonna be able to do anything either, so I'm just putting it on YouTube. I don't think it's a legal matter. I signed documents that they could help me, but I got him involved to see if he can make contact with the embassy or the visa section for me, VFS Global for me. He told me he probably can't promise that he can do anything because it's more a matter on the French side than the side here, but he said that he would try. He told me I called him on Wednesday. He told me he'd write me back the next day, which would have been Thursday. There was no reply. I left him a voicemail Friday afternoon. I hope he replies to me tomorrow morning. If not, that may no longer be of an option either. Some other things I'm thinking of trying to go to Europe now as an au pair while I wait. But as you guys know, that would be very frustrating because then I make a real commitment and it's not really what I want, because an au pair, I didn't realize this. An au pair is just, it's like an exchange. It's like being a foreign exchange student. You have to enroll in school, you're on a student visa, and you don't get paid. It's just an exchange for food and a place to live, and you get a little bit of pocket money. Is that the life I want? No, but I'm at the point where I don't have options here really either, because I can't, if this online work thing, really so much of what's happening right now is contingent of what the assistant comes back to tell me with the online work. Have I really been talking for 8 minutes? Holy shit. I told you this is multifaceted, and I'm almost done though, because there's not really much else to say. No, I can't do anything until she gets back to me on Monday with either the invoice is legal or not, or Wednesday after she goes down there. It's cutting it very close because we're leaving the beach house this weekend. We've overstayed way too long and we have to leave this upcoming weekend, and the assistant's cutting it very, very close by going on Wednesday when I gotta be leaving Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like days from now. So my life's a mess. The title of this is not clickbait. I'm really about to be done. Not done with never going. I'm just kind of finally at the point where I'm like, I think I'm tired of fighting for right now. And everyone's like, you're gonna be so much stronger from this. Everything happens for a reason. Something so much better is gonna come along for you. These things happen to propel us towards something else. That's my annoyed tone of like having to hear that over and over and over again. Everything happens for a reason. I used to think like that, but now after everything I've been through, the past 2 years of my life have been such a miserable piece of shit that I'm just kind of like, you know what? I don't think no, life is not that grandiose. This is not, no, it just sucks. And it just, I'm at this point where I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I can't get to France for another 6 months. I just want something to go easy. I want the online work to work so that I can go back to New York. I'm almost at the point where I just like want to pound my head on the table, because that would be less painful than what I am going through right now. I think I'm at the point where also my friends can't understand this. I found one girl who's actually in the situation that I'm in. She was hired in June of 2020. I was hired in December of 2019. We were both supposed to go in the summer of last year, and then everything happened and our visa processes got halted. She is not confident that we'll be there by the end of the year. I mean, leave in the comments below what you guys think. Maybe it's my optimism of a girl who just wants to get to France because she's been trying to get there for so many years. I am cautiously optimistic that the borders for the EU will open. If not this summer, I think by fall that they will open. Because, you know, Greece, I don't know if you guys read, but Greece is they're planning. It's very tentative, and they said they were gonna do this last year too, and then they didn't, and they just ended up following what the rest of the EU did. But as of right now, Greece is planning to open to all tourists, EU, non-EU alike, if you can prevent a negative test or show you have a vaccine. And those southern EU countries like Portugal, Italy, Spain, Greece, they cannot afford to go another summer without North American tourists. And Greece, you know, this is the rumor mill. The rumor mill is that Greece is gonna push the EU, those southern EU countries are gonna push the rest of the EU, because at the end of the day, unfortunately, it's gonna be a unilateral decision, a unified decision by the EU. So even if Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, France are like, and Scandinavia and Ireland and Iceland are like, no, we don't need the money, we need to stay close, the other southern countries are gonna be like, yo, we're gonna go broke. Give us some goddamn vaccine passports to let some people in and give us some money. I get it. They are gonna go bankrupt, those countries, if they don't. So, not mad at you guys. I'm just very tired and frustrated. I'm running on fumes giving you this update, but I'm really hoping I'll watch this 6 months, a year from now, I'll be like, remember when you were in the beach house and everything was really sucky? But then now, remember how you're in France and you're eating a baguette and looking at the Eiffel Tower and walking the cobblestone streets and hearing the French and saying je ne comprends pas and je prends un petit peu de français mais je ne comprends tu. I don't know, and I'm just I can't. I'm so tired. I'm so stressed. I want just one thing to really work for me. I've been talking to the camera for almost 13 minutes, but I feel that it was very necessary. And I want to keep you guys posted because this is, you know, Hallmark. Where do I sign the contract to make this into a television show? Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, HBO Max. If you want to turn my life into a television show, I mean, it's not a happy one, but it is. I'm gonna write a book on this one day because it has just been. And when I get to France, I will make a whole video telling you guys the whole story. I would do it now, but I fear that this is gonna go on for longer. So when I get to France, I will make a video and I'll link it here for the future when I do it. How, you know, my whole visa nightmare, my process of getting to France. I'll tell the whole story, but I wanted to keep you guys posted on where we are now. But it's not good. It's not looking good. I want, you know, I want to be hopeful that the rumor mill is true, that the borders are going to open with vaccines. You know, I'm going to be very honest. And it's not that I'm an anti-vaxxer. But I do have reservations about taking this COVID vaccine. A couple months ago, if you asked me you're going to take it, I would say no way in hell. Not that it's, I do believe that it's safe. It's still that it's just so new. I am fearful of putting something that new into my body. I hope that I don't get any haters for this. It's not, I want to take it. I want to be a part of bringing this stupid pandemic to an end because I am a class A example of how the pandemic literally flipped my life upside down and made my life nearly impossible to live. Like, this whole thing has felt like one long day. For me, my life has been on pause since this started. There's a great analogy that I want to share with you guys. Before the pandemic, everyone was driving along in their car, right? And you were driving and you were getting to your destination where you were thinking of getting in 2020, right? And for me, that was Paris, that was France. And the pandemic is like a stoplight and it's still red, and wherever you were going while you were driving in that car is where you got stopped. And in March of 2020, I was this close to getting to France, like 3 months away, about to have the visa in my hand. I would have had the visa in my hand a year ago if it weren't for the pandemic. So that's where I got stopped, was you're not in France, but you're almost there. You can see it. I'm at the point now where I'm on my hands and knees. I'm in the tunnel because everyone's been saying to me, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You got to see it. For the whole past year, the past few months, I didn't see it because of course this would feel eternal to me. This is my dream, and that it all being pulled out from me underneath the rug. Everyone would say, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel. With all the vaccines and Biden's announcement the other day with by May 1st, all Americans are gonna have a vaccine, I am on my hands and knees, collapsed in the tunnel, and I'm flickering my eyes open, and I finally see it's not shining on me like all over my face, need some SPF to protect myself, but I see a little tiny speck, and I'm like, oh my god, it's there. EU passports or vaccination passports or borders opening or the pandemic finally coming to an end. It's gonna get under control. It's gonna finally be under control in our country. But I'm not trying to stay in this country. I'm trying to get to France, and it's just all so political, and it's dependent on so many factors that I don't have control over. But also, I'm at the point where I don't know how else to help myself here at all. So that is about 17 minutes of footage that I have to cut down. That hopefully is not 17 minutes. If you stick around for 17 minutes, hey, audience retention, baby. It means I'm getting better at being, you know, this is my typical personality. It's very vivacious and all of this, you know. If you like me now, just wait till I get to France. I will be a hell of a lot more entertaining and amusing to watch. By the way, if you like me and you like all this crap that I'm telling you right now, even though it's not happy and I try and spin it to an entertaining story to listen to, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I like to make YouTube videos and it's my dream job. And I'd love one day, if I live in Paris and you guys are the reason, that I can buy an apartment there and then never ever ever have to leave the country again. We're not there yet. But it's Sunday night. I'm really tired. I've been watching Victorious and Zoe 101 trying to pretend that my life, and Drake and Josh, trying to pretend that my life isn't the monstrous mess that it is. I'm very tired, but I wanted to film this for you guys. This is I'm probably not uploading this tonight. Maybe I'll upload it tonight. I don't know. I feel that I just wanted to film before tomorrow, because hopefully someone writes me back something tomorrow. The assistant writes me back about the invoice. Can I work for you from abroad? Or the congressman writes me back, or just something. Anything, you know? Who knows? Maybe God himself will email me by this point. Like, it just... Yeah, I don't know what else to say because I'll just be talking in circles. Yeah, I know everyone has said to me, go do something else for 6 months to a year, even a year and a half is just it's very frustrating by this point, because to go back to New York, I have to put money down. I've got to put money down on an Airbnb and just kind of hit the ground running. It's very frustrating that after all of this time, and I'm not crying to you guys right now because there always gets to a point in the day where there are just too many tears have been cried out and there's just no liquid left in my body. It's very aggravating to constantly putting energy and time and money into these backup plans while I wait, when I so badly wish that I could expel my energy into what really matters to me, and what really matters to me is Europe. And I'm kind of at the point the past few days where I realized, you know, I had a lot of people are telling me, even my 17-year-old cousin just told me this. People keep telling me getting to Paris can't be the be and all of all things for you. But you know what, man? It is. That is my goal in life. You know, I'm not telling people who work cubicle jobs, why are you working a cubicle job? That can't be the be and all of your things. It's hard to respect people when you don't understand things, and I don't understand that life. So while it's hard for me to respect it, I still do. Because I'm not telling them that that's the wrong thing for them to do with their life, because it's their life. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's your life. And for me, I think it's both good and bad. The fact that being in Europe makes me feel that celestial peace and happiness. I'm not gonna get greedy because I don't want more things out of life. If that's all I ever have in my life, I will be so content. I keep lowering my standards. I'm like, yep, well, not gonna get the guy. Probably not gonna be able to buy an apartment in Paris one day. Probably not gonna be a YouTube star, but if I can live in Paris, that's happily ever after to me. And by that point, I'm so tired after saying all of this, but I want to tell all of you guys all these things that are going through my mind right now. I mean, no matter how much longer it takes, that's all I want. So I'm at the point where people are gonna tell me that can't be your only goal in life. Well, you know what, it is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If that's what my goal is and that's what makes me happy, it's my life and I can do what I want with it. And I can assign meaning or lack of meaning to whatever I want in my life. Yeah, okay, I need to stop now because this is a 21-minute clip. Oh my god, if you're a subscriber, you're a saint. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night. Ugh.